You feel as black, you've got everything under control. How bad can an opposite color bishop get? Well, the answer is really bad against a creative genius like Levon Aronian.
So we're moving back into Queen's Pawn territory for game number 2. Let's go ahead and see what Andrey Esipenko can do in a must-win situation if he is to bring this match to an Armageddon.
And he falls back to old recipes here. Andrey Esipenko employing the Jobava London system that got him a win against Jan Nepomniachtchi in the previous match. Here we saw a quick trade of pawns, the white knight now entering the center. Levon Aronian with the black pieces. He's gone for the most solid reply. About a decade ago, everyone was debating this variation. Andrey Esipenko, of course, was a youngster at the time. So how deeply has he analyzed white there, pushing a pawn very modestly. And looks like it's stabilized somewhat. Good news for Levon Aronian with black.
It's safe to say for Andrey Esipenko, Jobava London is the big trick that he's prepared here for trying to get to the quarterfinals. Twice today on the board with the white pieces. He keeps the pace on the clock as well. He's kind of hinting that he might take the king to safety on that left flank, but it looks like that might be still very dangerous, especially with Lev now preempting it, lining up his rook on the C line. I would highly advise against a long castle here.
Yeah, sometimes though you need to take risks, must-win situations. He's a very young, very ambitious player. I don't think he'll rush to make that decision. Often castling is a good idea in chess as early as possible, but it also does show your hand somewhat. And white's king is flexible to go either direction, so he might keep Levon Aronian guessing for a few more moves.
Oh, or just play h4 now and remove all doubt, David. I mean, Harry's served us well today. Harry has served Esipenko well today, to be fair. He's had some pretty strong results, shoving that pawn off the board. So maybe we'll see the same here.
Ooh, his hand
it's possible. It's happening.
Yeah, the white king had to castle there. That was the only way to defend the d4 pawn and b2 pawn from the black queen's gaze. As the queen moves yet again, setting up some potential sacrifices. The black bishop on f8, looking at it, a3 pawn, a hook for the attack.
And you mentioned hook for the attack. The b pawn rolling to exactly target that hook, b5, b4 coming in as well. So a lot of threats here being settled, being set by Levon Aronian with those last two moves.
That's actually a question I wanted to ask, where if I count the number of moves required for black to get the pawns rolling in, b5, b4, I can count to 2. I'm bad, but I'm not that bad, right? White, h4, g4, h5, g5, g... I'm counting the moves here, and I'm going, white's attack is so much slower. What am I missing? Like, what are we abandoning the king side and going for the center here because black's king is uncastled? What's the plan here?
Yeah, I don't think you're missing much. I think at least in ease of plan and ease of play for Levon Aronian, it's very straightforward. You throw pawns down the board. I think there are ways to guard against the attack. When the black b pawn reaches b4, you move the white knight out of the way. There's tension between the queens. Maybe at some point you do just move the knight and offer a queen trade and try to seek your chances in a queenless middle game.
Okay.
Ultimately, he might have to put his own attack on the back burner for Andrey Esipenko, but with his mood, the match situation, he might not want to do that.
He's fighting the board, he's fighting his mind as well, right? Not only that, he's fighting the clock right now, 7.5 minutes. Keeps thinking, and nothing's very clear. How are you building the attack here? Do you have enough time to push immediately? Do you allow black to go b5 and set their own threats right now? Some big questions, little time on the clock, head in hands for Andrey Esipenko.
Yeah, the automatic response, whenever you castle on the long side, then in this case, the queen side, you always want to take a timeout, move your king closer to the corner. Just means you're less likely to get checked. You cover more squares. There we go. The white queen steps forward, but apparently a big mistake from Andrey Esipenko, allowing some tactics potentially by Levon Aronian. Very surprising decision.
And I think he realizes it, and he can't quite believe it, because he took a good 2-minute thing to play this out. It's ideas that you were mentioning, right? The rook and the queen combining threats on that knight on c3. Not just that, bishop takes pawn at a certain moment.
Right.
And I think he's trying to make this work. It could come in with a tempo. Can he make that happen? Is that about to happen? Bishop takes pawn next?
He's giving it a go. And there's an exclam next to that move. So I think you're absolutely right, Tanya. Are we seeing bishop takes a3 next? Is this the breakthrough moment for Levon Aronian to seal this match against Andrey Esipenko? This is the pivotal moment.
Esipenko's reacting. Something happened there. I'm not sure whether he mouse slipped or whether he just totally hallucinated. Look at this, a sacrifice by Levon Aronian. I'm expecting 2 exclamation marks to pop up. There we go. Boom. Computer approved. Esipenko shakes his head. This is going to destroy the defenses around the White King. Even if the queens come off, Black's attack continues and with power.
Yeah, he's completely shocked. How did he even allow this? And the point is, you said, right, magic number is 3 when it comes to an attack. You take that rook with the pawn. The bishop joins the party. The queen's ready. The black knight ready to jump in.
Oh, Esipenko looks ready to resign, by the way. He looks gutted.
The end of this sequence as well, with the knight jumping out of danger into the most amazing square on the board for the knight on e4. Everything just seems to be coming together for Black in this position. And if you want to skirt out of the way afterwards, you've still got castling as an option.
Yeah, Black Knight is going to be the deliverer of doom here for Black. I just don't see Esipenko saving this game. I don't see him even continuing. Maybe we can show that sequence on the board as the fans there look fascinated by what's about to happen. Or maybe we'll just see it unfold now. The queens do disappear. That was the only way to stop any immediate checkmate. And look at this, it's Forktown incoming. The Black Knight is hitting this pawn on the c3 square. It's hitting the f2 pawn. Either way, that would come with devastating power. The Black bishop is threatening a pawn too, and you've only sacrificed a rook for knight. You're going to gain far more in return.
And you're just unable to defend and guard against all these threats. It's like you said, one way or the other, the knight forks coming in. Bishop takes pawn, knight takes pawn coming in with a check on c3 after that as well. And Esipenko, he realizes this is a miniature. He's absolutely busted out of the opening in this one. Queens are off the board. What a beautiful sacrifice there by Levon, known as the artist, you know, one of the most creative players. And he sort of set that up, bringing his queen first to b6, then to a5, finding that right moment to trade the knights, and eventually, boom, rook takes knight.
Yeah, the best you can do in this position is probably just to move your rook out the way. It's going to get hit by the Black Knight. So you preemptively move, you give up a pawn with a check, you run your king towards the corner, and you just hope to survive. But Black here has 2 pawns and a knight for the rook. This is actually happening on the board right now. We're going to see this unfold, but imagine the Black rook coming across. This is going to be a matter of time before the White King gets caught embarrassed in the corner.
And that's the thing, right? Even though the queens are off the board, it's still a mating net with the knight and the bishop combo combined. One of the majors joins the party, and guess what? For White, it's impossible to get a piece into defense. And we see he goes for the other way. He gets the king to safety with castle. And David, your idea is still on the cards. Rook c8, it arrives. We're going to see this being played out. A rook lift, and then over to the other side.
Yeah, Esipenko forced to desperately retreat his bishop here. It's still full control, but he survived the first wave of attack. That's always a necessary step, the bishop retreating. Problem is that White King is not going to find safety anytime soon. The black pieces are always creating threats. Esipenko looks really upset. He keeps adjusting his headset. I think he's just annoyed at himself for blundering earlier with his queen to e3 move.
So we see this sometimes with other esports as well. Occasionally, you'll be buying yourself time, looking for the way back, and the question I would normally be asking you is, what is the path forward? What is the way back for White here? But realistically, you're buying yourself time. You're coming to terms with what has happened in the game. All of the body language, all of the facial expressions for Andrey Esipenko, they're not giving "I'm coming back" kind of vibes. They are absolutely him coming to terms with what's going on. And I think this is going to be a 2-0 for Aronian fairly shortly.
Yeah, I don't know if a way back exists already. It might be too late to find that answer right there. He does set up the bishop against the king. And look at that. For Esipenko, he doesn't even bother about a check. He says he's ready to block it. You can bring your rook into the attack. Knight jumps in the air. Levon, he takes a pause. He's got all the time. And you can see the frustration there. Esipenko, he knows this is over. He's got to fight again for that quarterfinal spot.
Yeah, it's so rare in chess to see someone give up hope this clearly, this visibly. Esipenko, ever since he moved his queen forward to e3, his face dropped, and he's not been hiding that poker face. The black rook comes in, it's forced checkmate within a few moves, it seems. Or maybe he's just going to win material in the process, Levon. Is there going to be a flashy double check? The black knight can jump forward. The king is hit by both bishop and knight. The white king therefore has to move, and the white bishop on e3. The dark squared bishop about to fall.
And this might be the moment that Esipenko might just resign right here, right now, about to lose that bishop. It doesn't even stop there. The king hunt will continue. You can see it in his eyes as Levon, he glances up as well. What a beautiful game by Lev this was.
So powerful, Levon Aronian. He got one chance, he took it, and Esipenko smiling here. He's about to hit that resign button. This is going to be game over.
He's not smiling because he's pleased with what he sees. He's smiling because he knows that this is absolutely over for him. Knight D1, the double check, the bishop hanging next. And there we have it. Levon Aronian is through to the quarterfinals.
Aronian overcoming Esipenko for a second time in dominating fashion to book his place, to book qualification to the playoffs here at chess at the Esports World Cup. An incredible display from the veteran who is still very much at the sharp end of the spear as far as world chess is concerned. What a fantastic performance.
Just incredible. So inspiring, Levon Aronian, for the more experienced players out there, showing that you can continue pushing yourself, breaking down these new boundaries. And for Levon, he looks like a tough one to stop. So much momentum behind him. Esipenko, meanwhile, heartbreak, we saw it on his face, but he'll be back.